Okay, everybody. I think we'll get started. So first, let me just introduce myself. My name is Dave Dempsey. I'm one of the founders and the CEO of Hyer, and we're really excited about the our first webinar. This is our first Hyer webinar, and fortunately, we have the pleasure of having some folks at Meijer join us. And I'll introduce them. But I see Eric and team. You can see him on the if you're looking at your video, and I see Jeff Clem is there as well. So we'll make those introductions in just a second. So again, so welcome. This is the first of what will probably be many. We had quite a few registrants, and I can see that we've got in total about 40 people now. I'd expect that to grow a little bit, and we'll do this probably on a frequent basis. There's a need for it, and we're excited. We want to share on the Hyer side. On our end, we're a relatively new company. We're just a little over a year old, so we've been on a rapid expansion across the Midwest, and we'll get a chance to talk about that. So as we get started, the first thing I wanted to just recognize that everybody's muted, and because of the number, we'll probably leave it that way. But if there's any questions along the way, please just type them in. And as you can see, we've got a chat here, but we also have an opportunity to ask questions, and we'll get to them. This webinar is recorded. So for everybody's benefit, we'll learn from it, and we'll figure out the best way to move forward, in future calls. And then lastly, I just, for all the taskers that are on, I just want to personally say thank you. We came into the market just a little over a year ago and have grown considerably, and it's because of your efforts that we've been able to do that. So I just want to say thanks, and especially during this environment we're in with COVID. So that's not been easy. And I know you guys are working your best to get to work through this, but we can't say thanks enough. What we'll do is I'll introduce the panel in just a moment. We've got about 8 people on the panel. From there, we'll provide just a real quick overview of Hyer. We'll talk about some of the jobs that we've got that are being posted across 6 states and the companies that are posting. So just a high level. And then we want to introduce Eric and team. Eric Van Tongeren is with Meijer and runs their internal audit. So they have some new task types we're excited about, and we want to give them an opportunity to share. We'll share that with you, and we'll get questions around it. After that, we'll open it up for questions, and then we'll see where it goes. We're going to try to end this in roughly 30 minutes. And I know if people are busy, they can drop out, but that's the target. So hopefully that makes sense for everybody. Let me start with introductions. So again, my name Dave Dempsey. I'm the CEO and one of the original founders. A handful of us came together a little over a year and a half ago after spending a lot of time in retail and a lot of time in operations, and decided to build an application to get at work. And as almost 36 years in a company, we realized that the way work is being managed is in the middle of a change. With the gig economy, things are changing. So we wanted to be a part of that change, and we think we've got a solution that really works for both companies and individuals. We also have on the line, we have Jen Solmy. Jen Solmy is our Chief Product Officer, so she ultimately owns the product design, and our Chief Information Officer. So she's here, and probably you'll hear from her throughout the call. Pankaj Kant is our Chief Technical Officer, so he's on the call as well. Our VP of Operations overseeing the Midwest is Dan Dempsey, and then we have our Director of Finance, which is Joe Dempsey. From the Meijer side, we have Eric. I don't know if, Eric, you just want to introduce your team members. That would be great.
Sure. Thanks, Dave. My name's Eric Van Tongeren. I'm the Director of Internal Audit, and working at Meijer for the last 10 years. And internal audits, and we'll go through some of the task details in a bit. But I'm really excited also to be joined by our inventory management leadership on this call. So we've got Jeff Clem, Jake Halleck, and Rich Kautz, and combined, the 3 of them have over 100 years of experience in retail inventory management. So that's pretty impressive. And they'll be covering all of Meijer stores. So they're here, they're very knowledgeable. And you'll hear from Jeff in just a minute too on some more details regarding the task. So
great. Thanks, Eric. Okay, good. So just real quick on the Hyer story. As I mentioned, a year and a half ago, we came into the market. We were lucky enough to start with a pilot with Meijer in 5 stores. Since then, we have been growing incredibly fast. We started on the campus of Wayne State. That's how all this got started. But just since this January, we've been able to grow pretty quick. At this point, we're across 6 states. We've expanded into 6 states in a matter of 5 months. It's in the middle of a COVID crisis. We've been able to expand and grow. There's over 42,000 people that have downloaded the app. We've posted over 100,000 hours of work, which is pretty impressive in a short period of time. And we're in the tens of thousands of tasks that have been completed. And what I think is exciting is the average task value for someone on the app platform. The average task, combination of rate and duration, is $72 per task. So it's a very valuable task, and that's clearly what we're hearing. Why we did this is we just think there's an opportunity. We think that we're going to redefine how work gets done with the gig economy. The workforce, the face of the workforce is changing, and companies like Meijer and others are thinking about how do you leverage the gig to get into kind of commercial and help them solve their business challenges and opportunities. We built this on really a couple principles. One is empowering people. This is all about giving the opportunity for people to work on their terms, when they want, how they want, the type of jobs that they want, as much as they want. Okay, so if people can do this as a living, great. If not, you can pick up extra hours if you already have another job and you're looking to pick up some weekend hours or evening hours or daytime hours. So it gives you really the ultimate convenience and flexibility. And I think in today's environment, it fits. Second is connecting opportunities, which is really there's one source, many opportunities within the application. It reaches across multiple industries and job types. So it's not a specific type of job on an app. Over time, as we continue to grow and add customers, we'll be able to have many opportunities. And it's built for the company and the worker. It's how do we optimize that between the two entities. And then lastly, it's all about community. It's about local, and the idea that we want to give back. Most work is local in their local community. So if we can connect local companies with people that are looking for the opportunity to work, we think it's really powerful. And over time, we'll be giving back to the community. So it's one of the important pieces of our platform. So that's a real quick update.
Dave, sorry, this is Jen Solney. I'm the Chief Product Officer, so I'm more on the technical side. I just wanted to jump in and just really, I want to reiterate something that you already said, which is that we are a brand new startup. And what's amazing is I actually recognize many of the names that are as attendees here. And we just wanted to let you know, we know there are going to be opportunities in the app. There'll be areas we want to improve on. We're very early on the roadmap. So I just want to say that we're strongly encouraging this group's feedback to make the platform better. So you guys can help to shape the features, the functions, and we just want you to have the best experience. So whether it's an issue that you're having in the app or if it's a feature that just will make your life easier, just by all means, I encourage you to write in. I would say suggestions are best sent just directly into the customer service at support@gohyer.com. But I just wanted to make sure that that is really clear here.
Great, thanks, Jen. That's really helpful. Yeah, I can't stress that enough. You guys can help shape what this product looks like and how it grows and matures, and eventually we'll take it across the country. Just real quick, and then I'm going to turn it over to Eric. Just we have thousands of tasks being posted weekly. The number grows every week too, as well. So it just the Midwest alone is thousands of tasks every week. And there's a couple companies that are using us quite a bit. One is I just let you know that there's a company, ServeU Success, which is a Michigan-based company that provides kind of warehousing, distribution, in-store product management. That's the service they provide. And they do a lot of that in Meijer. And so they're using us extensively. And in fact, they're actually operating in all 250 Meijer stores across 6 states. And so it's in-store grocery stocking. It's overnight resets. There's general warehouse, general labor in parts of Indiana. There's repack work. So there's quite a bit there. And they continue to grow. Meijer itself is using us. And if you know Meijer, they're a dominant player and retailer in the Midwest. They're extremely great company and just really strong through the Midwest. And they're doing quite a bit. They're doing overnight stocking, daytime stocking. They do what they call a produce breakdown. There's some work in their dairy and frozen area, and then general merchandising across the Meijer store. Think beyond grocery. And again, they're growing. There's quite a bit there in Illinois, up into Wisconsin. So some great growth there. Meijer distribution centers, we're doing some work there as well in general labor. And then there's other companies throughout Michigan, Edible Arrangements. There's Brights, which is a manufacturer that makes bike lights. There's a couple bottlers, Pepsi bottler, one in Columbus, another one in North Carolina. And then there's probably another 15 smaller type companies in Southeast Michigan. So we've got, we're adding fast. We've got a big push now that we'll begin over the next couple weeks to add more and more customers. But that gives you a sense of the background. So if people have questions on where the jobs are located and the types, that's a real high level. We can answer more if you've got questions. But at this point, what I'm excited to share with you is really having Eric and team and the Meijer, internal audit team to talk about a new task type. And Eric, I think you can share your screen. If not, I can do it as well. So you tell me.
No, I'm happy to share. I've got a couple slides here to share with everybody, and this won't take long to cover, but we're excited to kind of give an overview for everyone to get some more insight into this task that we're starting to launch. And I believe we've already got some tasks posted out in Cincinnati and Chicago areas to begin with. And again, we're excited to continue to grow this task as we move forward at Meijer and kind of look for different opportunities to have this task available across all markets. So before I begin, I just wanted to cover, before we talk about what the task is, which I know everybody is interested in determining, what it is and what the task is about. I wanted to start with the why Meijer has this type of task out there, just to give some context as to what this task drives at Meijer. And to start with, first and foremost, this task is a task that drives critical decision making at Meijer. So at any retailer, there's this acronym called BOH, and many of you are probably already familiar with BOH, and as it's talked about quite regularly within the retail environment. And so what this task really is involved in is identifying products on the shelf and adding in those products together to create an accurate balance on hand data point for us to use in our business. With an accurate balance on hand information, I put some things that we can do as example, but we can measure our overall value of products, which again gives us insight into how much value a store has within its walls. We also can initiate timely replenishment of that product, which again is important and drives a lot of the service success work that you mentioned. So, and then also we can obviously determine inventory turnover as an accurate measure of how profitable each product is. So again, lots of important decisions are made around this type of task, and this task does drive a lot of value for the company. So getting right into kind of what the task is, the first thing I figure everybody is interested in is determining, is this task right for me? So we feel like we'd highlight some of the requirements that you'll want to know first before signing up. This task, again, at Meijer stores, if you're going to be working in our stores, so you'll have to pass a health screen and you'll have to wear masks, which is our current environment, our current operating environment. So the picture shown is pre-COVID. So again, but just know that when you come in, you'll have to check in with the front end of the store and make sure that you pass your health screens. The next thing you'll want to know is that you'll actually be provided a Meijer handheld scanner. All right, this is a Meijer device that you'll interact with to conduct the counts. It's not on your phone. It's not on your personal device. We have devices that are built for entering in product counts, and they're easy to use, and there's simple instructions that will accompany those devices for you to enter in counts of each product after you scan them. Then the last thing to consider before signing up is really this job does have a review process built into it, or this task has a review process. So when you're completing the task, just know that before the task is completed, at the end, you will have a recount where a Meijer team leader will come and review your counts and ensure that they are accurate and within expectations. So, and again, at the last bullet point, we have this 99% accuracy expectation that's badge eligible. And that'll be performed every single section, or every single, you'll see there the number in the upper right corner of that picture. For every section that is counted, there is a review process that we have to go through as part of an audit process. So And then the only other thing I'll mention, which is if you are a Meijer team member, you're not allowed to sign up for this task at your home store. So again, you may have a store nearby that you could sign up for this task, but if you are an active Meijer team member, you're not allowed to sign up for the task at your home store. And with that, we'll go into a few details here. And now I'd like to introduce Jeff Clem. And again, Jeff Clem has well over 30 years at Meijer of experience, and he's going to walk through some of the details of this task as you kind of want to learn more about what this task entails.
Everyone, first, I just wanted to say we do have teams of inventory teams that are spread out throughout our footprint that do this job every day, and this is kind of supplementing that process or helping us get through some of these bigger counts. If you've heard of companies like RGIS or Washington Inventory Services that go into the other retailers, Walmart's, Targets, and conduct the physical inventory counts. So that's the same process that we're doing, except we are an internal to Meijer. We work for Meijer, and so this is just supplementing that process for us. As Eric mentioned, you'll be given an assignment at the beginning of your task. There is a tag that has a number on it. Our Meijer team leader will direct you to that number. We'll explain how to use the handheld device. We do require that you mark your counting progression through that section. So we'll have basically matching or marking the beginning and end of every shelf break, peg section, things like that, to make sure that you're not losing your place as you're going along. So the basic task is to scan the barcode on the back of the UPC on the back of the product, count how many are on the shelf for that specific UPC, and then enter that count into the handheld device to capture that item. So it's not a difficult task. There is a lot of up and down, maybe a small ladder, moving items that if you think about typical items that are sold in a retailer, the heaviest things would be like, 24 packs of water, maybe 24 packs of pop. Those type things would be the things that you'd be moving around that we need to just get to the barcode on the device, on the package to scan. We do scan the barcode, not the shelf tag, even though the shelf tag does have a barcode on it. So, and then at the end of the section, you'll contact the team leader, tell them you're completed that section, and then you will be recounted on a certain percentage of the items in that section and establish that accuracy score. So basically, we will scan that same product and then compare what you had entered as the count to what we recount that item. So it'll, and then if you maintain a 99% or better score, you're eligible for an accuracy badge, which will be used to determine next tasks that are posted, whether you are highlighted for us to select again for that. I think that's it on.
Yeah, the badging is important. I think that I'm glad you brought that up. We're adding that into the application, and I think that's important for those people that are looking for work. As you do the job as you described, and accuracy does count so much. You earn that badge, so that when future postings come, anybody with that badge gets, the person posting will see that. So it's really helpful for people to work to get that badge if they want to come back, if they like to work, and come back as often as they can.
Yeah, absolutely.
I also, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say this role, while again many tasks might be centered around how what the productivity rate is, or how many cases you can move, or how fast you can go. This role or this task is a little bit different in the sense that accuracy counts as number one, and we're counting to make sure we can make good decisions with our inventory and our replenishment tasks. So again, that's why we're so focused on recounting, and it's a mandatory step in the task. But again, we think that as taskers consider, is this the right fit for them, they'll be able to understand, hey, as you do it, you'll know right away if this is something that is a good fit. And we're excited to work with everyone on walking through the process.
I will say, in addition to accuracy, we do have, some minimum productivity standards. So, we do expect a certain number of pieces counted in an hour. So, to keep that in mind as you're counting, that, accuracy is top priority, but we also need to get through the sections as quickly as possible. You will find we've posted, I think, 3-hour tasks for next week in the greater Chicago area, which actually goes into Northwest Indiana and up to Round Lake Beach for those who are familiar with the area, and then in the Cincinnati area as well. I believe we've put some 3-hour tasks out there. You will find that doing this job, that 3 hours will fly by. You will not even think you've started and you'll be done with the task. So just keep that in mind as you're going through.
Jeff, if you don't mind me jumping in, we had a question come through, and it's regarding the accuracy. And how do you determine the accuracy score while customers are in the store and shopping? And, if they count something and they keep going down the aisle, and then a customer may come in and buy one of those items.
Yeah, so what we do is we try to recount that section as soon as it is completed, and we do allow for sales. So if I'm recounting a section and you've counted 13 and I come back and there's only 12 on the shelf, we do allow to say that was could have potentially been a sale, so we won't count that against you. If you count 12 and we count 13 on the shelf, then that's when an error would be marked.
Great, thank you.
Well, good. And we did include one other slide here, and we'll wrap things up because I know we want to target 30 minutes. But again, this would be an example task area. So again, you would have multiple sections, right? But assigned within a 3-hour time period. But as you can see, we've kind of circled pieces of tape that the execution depends on, so we know what's been counted. And you can see in the upper left corner, that's where the task ID is established, and you would work from top left, slowly work your way down each shelf or peg row, and from upper left to bottom right. And again, the pieces of tape are just to indicate your start and stopping point for each shelf that then can be recounted when it's complete. So this is just an example, and again, we have plenty of different varieties of shelving units within our store. So again, that we tried to pick a simple one that is straightforward as an example. With that, that's all we have to share. And again, if there's any questions that come up, we're happy to answer them. And I'm happy to hand it back over to Dave.
Great. Thanks, guys. Really appreciate it. So, time does fly on these calls. So I think, that's a great, first of all, Eric and team, thank you so much. We're really excited about the opportunity to add some new task types. A lot of what we have is you mentioned it, merchandising, throwing cases on the shelf and resets, but this is different. And I think it broadens out kind of the offering. And we're just really pleased that you chose us. So I know there'll probably be some questions on, is it just those markets? Can you just take 2 minutes and explain how you're thinking about it if things progress well?
Sure. We know right now that we want to grow capacity and make sure that we're able to react to the needs of the business. So right now we're in Chicago and Cincinnati just based on need, and we do anticipate this opportunity growing across all markets, and it's going to be something that as it grows and as we leverage it at more stores, you'll start to see it more often. So again, we're not going to have a date on just everybody. This task will be everywhere, and in fact, we have a cycle count process that rotates through the stores. So every store isn't going to receive an inventory every day. It's just how it works. We tend to focus on individual stores at a time because stores really don't want us to come back day in and day out and do the same process. Inventories are a little bit stressful if you've gone through one for a retail environment. And so a store, once you go through an inventory, they need a break. They need almost a cooling off period, if you will. So we tend to rotate through stores regularly, but it's not going to be an everyday task. It is going to be in a lot of markets though, and we're excited to grow it.
Yeah. Great. So eventually, if things go well, you will eventually touch 250 Meijer stores across 6 states in the Midwest.
We anticipate that, as these large days, which every store has really tough days and light days. The tough days are the ones we're targeting for growing, and every store has a big grocery and a big HBC area, health and beauty care products, things like that. So, Jeff and I are always looking at our capacity and how best to serve the stores, and there will definitely be growth in almost every market. So.
Yeah, fantastic. Well, thank you so much. And then, Joe, I know you were monitoring questions. Maybe I'll just turn it over to you and see if there's anything we might want to address, or anybody in the group. If you just go down to Q&A and type it in, we'll try to get to as many as we can. And we might run just a few minutes over if that's okay.
Yeah, well, great. So we've had a couple questions come in. I guess one of the questions to Eric or Jeff is just in regards to the attire that people have to wear while they're doing the job.
Yeah, so our and this will be in the app when I believe it's spelled out there, but we do require collared shirts, no t-shirts, no logos, no wording on shirts, and then either dress slacks or nice jeans with no rips or holes in them, and then I would wear comfortable shoes.
Okay, great. And then I think another question is just in regards to the pay. So I guess I can answer this. The pay for these types of jobs are going to be, right, I think $13 to $13.50 an hour. It just kind of depends on the location. And it is it's an hourly rate. It's not going to be similar to some of the other jobs where it's a fixed fee. This is an hourly rate as of right now. And then so we do have another question on, this is more of a technical question on, looking at the app and being able to see your prior tasks that have been performed. Jen, do you mind jumping in and
Sure.
explaining this?
Sure. Yeah, that's sure. So if you are on the tasker side, then you just click on the task tab at the bottom. And when you are in there, you're going to see 3 areas: your task, active task, and archive. If you click on the archive, then that will show you all of your past tasks. So you can see your history right there.
All right. Thank you, Jen. Let's see. What else have we gotten? We've got a couple questions on Hyer branded attire while you're in store. That is something that we are currently working on. I know that it's kind of a process sourcing that, so a couple weeks out, but we will soon have a Shopify store, and that way, if you are a reliable tasker, we will try and work with you to get you some, but you will also be able to purchase some in the near future. Hopefully we can get that out and up and running sooner rather than later. Let's see, any other questions that you guys are seeing that need to be answered? Is there a way to, Jeff and Eric, to get a copy of the PDF or the PowerPoint that you were presenting? That way I think we could send it out to some of the attendees here on the list.
Yeah, I think we have a PDF of it we can send out, and also I believe we might send a hyperlink or have a hyperlink within the task profile. So
that's right. We're actually gonna have it right in the task details. So when you guys apply to it, you'll actually be able to pull it right out.
Great.
Okay.
Well, good. I think, Joe, we're kind of, I really respect people's time. So I think we can kind of move to wrapping it up. Eric and Jeff, I can't thank you enough. I also, we want you guys to help us spread the word, friends, family. If you know someone that needs to work, or you want to just share the good, the fact that Hyer's out there, I think, we'd encourage you to do that. Dan, you run the operations. Any other thoughts on spreading the word?
No, I think, our taskers are what's going to make the Hyer platform grow and become bigger and bigger. So, if you have people out there that would be interested in using the platform, please bring them on. Please ask if they would like to join. We're willing to give out referral bonuses if we can. So we're always interested in seeing new people. And that's, again, how we're going to grow our platform and make it bigger and bigger. And I think some people had a question around opportunities outside of the Midwest. We're always looking to grow. So if you are interested in trying to bring on new businesses as well, to make sure there is work on the application, we're more than willing to listen and try and help in bringing those new businesses on.
Great.
And there was a question about who do you check in with when you get to the store, and all of that's actually going to be in all of the task details when you apply to it. But you'll be checking in with the inventory team lead upon arrival. You'll get a lanyard to wear in the store, and then you can use the in-app messaging functionality too if you have issues locating that person.
Okay, very good. And then lastly, Pankaj, I know you had one page. Maybe we just take a minute and then we can call it a day.
Sure, Dave. Thank you. And I just wanted to provide a little bit of information on what our social and digital presence is. If you want to know more about Hyer, or if you're looking to make your friends and family aware of it so that they can actually download the app and start working on it, there's multiple ways you can find it.
Hey, Pankaj, I don't see the slide if you're sharing it. It was up for a second, then it went down. So.
Oh, sorry about that.
There we go.
Oh. Is it now visible? Okay.
Yes.
The two things to just note is the Hyer app. It's, Hyer is identified by that gemstone, purple gemstone with a tick mark on it. And if you just use the word Hyer or Hyer app to look for it on the web, on Google, or on other search engines, you'll be able to find it. On the left-hand side, we've got an extensive presence on the social media channels. On Facebook, we've got a Hyer page which talks about our new job opportunities, as well as upcoming webinars and other information from a community initiative perspective. We're also launching a Hyer Life page, which will be an open community for taskers. And we'll also be providing some, helpful info and tips. We are on Instagram and LinkedIn as well. We are, of course, on Google Play and the App Store. We have a website, as you can see on the right-hand side, which is gohyer.com, where you can find more information. In August, there'll be a lot more updates to the website, more detail being added. And finally, you can find us also on the job boards, ZipRecruiter or Craigslist, if you search for Hyer. So we've got certain campaigns running on these job boards as well in specific areas. So you'll be able to find us there as well.
Great. Thanks, Pankaj.
Sure.
And thanks to everybody. I think we can wrap it up. For those you may talk to, we'll be pushing out more notifications. We'll probably do some more webinars to engage people as new companies come on and opportunities come around. So, but thanks everybody for taking the time, and I hope you all have a great day. Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Everyone.